Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be showing y'all, I look ridiculous, I know. I'm gonna be showing y'all how to get volume in your hair when you wear it straight. I don't wear my hair straight all the time. I like it more of a wavy, but my hair is naturally straight, other than this craziness you see right now, which is out of the shower. But first, I want to show y'all, once I wash my hair is blonde, so I use purple shampoo. If you are blonde, you need to invest in a really good purple shampoo. It is a lifesaver. It will get you in between sessions at the salon. It'll make your hair look nice and bright. It takes off all the gunk off your hair and makes it look really pretty. But if you use purple shampoo, it is a clarifying shampoo. So make sure that you're using a really, really good conditioner afterwards. Like a leave-in on top of that is even good. And this is the one that I use, and I am a hairstylist. I still do hair at my house now that I'm a stay-at-home mom for a couple people, but I've been a stylist for 13 years. So when I was in the salon, I would always put this on every single client, and I love this stuff. But this is a Pravana Intense Therapy spray. It is a leave-in, so you would spray this in your hair, which I have already done that. Spray it in your hair when it's damp, before you brush it, dry it, curl it, whatever. It has a heat protectant in it on top as moisture and SPF, all of those things. This is also really good, like if you're gonna go to the pool or the beach and you don't want your hair to get all nasty, you spray this in it first, and it literally is a sunscreen for your hair. So it protects the hair in the sun, which I don't really know of any other product that does that. So this stuff is amazing. Plus it smells really good, and it just makes your hair look nice and shiny and soft, detangled, all of that good stuff. So definitely put this in your hair every single time you do it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dry my hair. Now, if you want volume in your hair, whether you're doing it straight or curly, and you are drying it, I know a lot of people let their hair air dry. I do as well a lot of times. The less heat you put on it, the better for your hair. But for today's sake, I am gonna dry it, and I'm gonna show you guys how I would dry it to make sure that you get that lift from the beginning. The more that you do that, the better. So I have a round brush. You can use a flat brush like this right here too. And then of course my dryer is super old. You guys have probably never seen this type before. But I've had it for years and it still works. It's great, it gets really hot. So I'm gonna show you how I dry it first. When I first start drying it, because it's not soaking wet, but it's not close to dry yet. So you wanna get as much of the moisture out as possible first before you're gonna start using a brush or anything like that. And if you want the volume, you always want it, I kinda do like a halo. So if you were to wear a halo all the way around your head, or on your head, you would take that top piece out that makes the halo. All of this should be up. So you're gonna be blow drying it up or over. So if this part lays down, then I'm gonna pull it up to dry it this way. So that way, once it's dry and it lays down, it gives it a little bump. And then on this side, you would pull it this way so that once it lays this way, it gives it a little bump, and same thing on this side. All right, let's get started. Okay, now that my hair is pretty much dry, I have a lot of hair, so it can be totally dry if you want it to. It doesn't need to be, you know, I would say like 80 to 90% dry would be good before we start using the brush, because you don't want to be sitting there forever and your arm getting tired, constantly going with the brush just because you're trying to get it dry. Because right now, what I'm going to do with the brush is not necessarily to get the hair dry, it's more to form the hair. So this brush is a very, very big round brush, which I like. I think the more hair you have, thickness and length, the bigger brush you should get. If you have shorter hair, obviously you wouldn't want a brush this big because it really wouldn't help you out with the height and the volume. So what we're gonna do first, I'm gonna go ahead and, since I do my part on the side, depending on whichever side you do it, and even if you go down the middle, just always think wherever the part is, you wanna go the opposite direction. So since it's on this side, I'm gonna wanna take this hair over here, blow dry it over, and then I'm gonna put it in the brush, roll it, blow dry it up, and let it go. And that way it gives it that oomph. All right, now I'm gonna do the back first. So again, right around like where you would have a halo sit on your head, you're gonna pick up that hair. And then we're gonna cut that. Obviously you don't want this whole big piece in a brush, it wouldn't do much. So I'm gonna cut that down, take my finger right through the middle of it. We'll pull this forward. Where's my clippy? Clippy. And then I'm just gonna clip the hair that's in the front, like this, just so it's separated. I'm gonna take the brush, make sure it's nice and smooth and brushed up. And then if I could see through all this hair. Okay, now I'm gonna put it right at the root. Now I'm pushing forward. Don't put it at the root like this. You wanna push it forward. Push it forward. We're gonna lean it over the hair, or the hair over the brush. Now that it's stuck in there, and I'm gonna turn my, y'all, I cannot think today. I was about to say my laundry or my vacuum. What the heck is this called? My hair dryer. Gosh, my brain cells are just gone. Okay, on mine I have 3 settings of heat. If you have settings, always go to the lowest, not the cool setting, but like the warm setting. If you have it. If you don't, you know, just use what you got. I'm gonna do one more because I don't want to go all the way to the front because these sides need to go the other way. So I'm gonna do one more. And I am picking up a little bit of hair off of this side, even though it's parted. You can go through the part and grab a little bit of hair from this side too. Can you see how much? Forward. See how it's already giving me lift? Okay, now I'm gonna do this side first just because it has more hair than this side. I'm gonna take, almost like I'm parting it down the middle of that piece. Take this side, make sure I pull that hair away. It's already been done. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing over here. So see how I'm pulling it this way? So it's a little bit up. It's already giving me some va-va-voom. All right, now I'm gonna do this one. It's got my bang in it. So nice. Already looks nice. Now on this side, since my part is pretty far over, I'm not gonna do 2 sections. I'm just gonna do the one. Woo! It's like those commercials where they look at how pretty that's laying already. Like, it's already giving me lift. Now I know the ends look crazy, so you can go, and what I like to do is take it just like I'm doing the top, you know, kind of hold it there, put the dryer on it, let it go, and it helps smooth it out a little bit. I'll show you all that real quick. Now you don't have to do this, because if we're gonna run a straightener through it and you already have straight hair like me, then you're fine. As long as you've brushed your hair and then run the straightener through it, you're fine. But if you have curly or wavy hair and you want to get a little bit more of the wave out before you use the straightener, and I will say this will help with the shine too. So if you want to do that step, you can, but you don't have to. Nice and silky, and this side looks a little crazy. I'm gonna do this one. There you go. See how pretty that is? Now obviously I haven't done the rest of it, but I'm not going to, because I am gonna just put the straightener in it. Number one thing, if you ever put hot tools in your hair, straightener, or curling iron, or a wand, or whatever, you definitely want to put a heat protectant on it. I know that there's heat protectant in here, but you definitely need to add something before you actually put it on. So every time before I put the straightener in my hair, I'll show you all the straightener I have. I have the Paul Mitchell, which I love. I used to use a Chi, and I like Chi hair dryers, but I do not like their straighteners. If you do, nothing against it, it's just preference, my own opinion. But this, once you do this one, again, Chi is my favorite. The Iron Guard Chi, you'll spray this, like 2 pumps on the hair, then you'll take the flat iron and run it through, and you really only need to run it through like once, maybe twice, and your hair will not only look super shiny, but it will be totally protected. You will not be burning it or any of those bad things. So let's get that done, and then I'll show you how to add the rest of the lift in the hair. All right, y'all. So like I said, I'm gonna use this. I'm going to section the hair out into 3 sections. So right where the ears are, right above the ears, take those fingers, run them back, and then twist the hair a little bit and put it in my clippy. And then I take my finger, go right down the middle of the back of my hair, or I guess my head, my neck, and then I pull each side to the front, so that way it's easier to do it this way than it is to put my arm back there. Now I will do that at the end to get the very top in the back. So we're gonna take this. It's not an aerosol spray, it is a spritz spray. I'm gonna spray the inside and the outside. And then if you need to, if your hair is really thick, you can always do each section that you actually are putting the flat iron through. So if you were gonna do that, you take a little section, and I just do 2. You don't want it to be wet. You just want to make sure it's on there, and definitely always make sure the ends are done, because that's the one place that you have no moisture left in your hair. So that would be the one place for when you would get more split ends, or it could fry, or any of those kinds of things. Also, if you have a dial, make sure you're no higher than 360. Right now I'm at, let's see, 340, I think, around there. And I'm gonna take it, and then you always want to do just a slight bend at the bottom. It doesn't make it curved, it just makes sure that it looks straight and even. If you don't, and you make it too stick straight, when it falls, it doesn't look straight, it actually looks like it's flipped out. Now, if you need to, always use a brush, because you definitely, before you put the flat iron through, make sure your hair is nice and smooth. Don't just grab a piece and go at it, because if it's not smooth and there's a crinkle in it, oops, there's a crinkle in it, the crinkle will stay. And I'm not going all the way up to my root, just because my hair is naturally straight, so I don't really have to worry about making sure I get all the way to the root. But if your hair is not Do make sure that you get all the way up there so that everything looks nice and even. And this spray, y'all, smells so good. I don't know why. I guess because I'm a hairstylist, I love the smell of all these sprays and hair products. I'm probably not the only one, but okay, that side's done. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my head, do the same process all over. All right, now that I've done everything else except for the very top, now I'm gonna spray my whole head with the spray. The Iron Guard spray. Let's see. And then instead of trying to go from the root down, I'm just gonna do the ends, and I'm not gonna try to brush out the root area. Just gonna do the ends. So I'm gonna lift it up. Don't do it down here. Make sure you're lifting it up. Make sure the ends get a little bit of straightness to them, nice and smooth. They look nice and smooth and shiny. Do it again. Now when you do the back, you're just gonna pull up from the back. Don't pull it to the side because we want the back to still have the volume. And if you're not used to doing it like this, backwards, do a little bit of practicing. I promise it's not that hard. You'll get used to it. And as long as you're looking in the mirror and you can watch where your hand is going so you don't burn yourself, you'll be just fine, I promise. So again. And always try to go slow, especially through the ends. The slower you go, the more heat it gets, the less times you have to pull through, which means less times you pull through the hair with the heat, the nicer your hair is gonna stay healthy, the longer it's gonna stay healthy. Less heat, the better. You only want to put as much heat on it as you possibly need to. Now, since I have layers, and especially since more hair is on this side, my layers can lay kind of funny when my hair is straight. So I'll try to pick those up, make sure I've gotten those ends as straight as I want them to be, as smooth as I want them to be. And I've already sprayed the spray on. If you feel like you see too much like steam coming off when you use this, or even a curling iron, spray more spray because you want to make sure you protect your hair at all costs, okay? Okay, now that that's done, turn my flat iron off. And then I'm gonna show y'all a product that I love. I actually use the same heat protectant spray sometimes for almost like a hairspray, not to set it, but just to add a little bit of texture to the hair. So if I'm gonna tease the hair, I might spray this to tease it and kind of hold it in place. But I also like this, it's Puff Me, what is this one called? Yeah, Volumizing Cloud Mist. It literally comes out as a mist, but it's a powder. It's weird. But this is what I would use. I would lift the hair up kind of the same way that we did it with the brush. And then we're going to spritz it in the root area of all these places. And then I'm going to use I've got two of them that I really like. This one is the Tease with Ease. This is the to-go size. And there's hair. Of course, I'm horrible with that. This thing is awesome because you don't have to sit there and go, you only have to really pull it through the hair once or twice, and it does the perfect amount of teasing. And then you don't have to worry about it looking like a rat's nest either. This one will make it look more like a rat's nest if you're doing it a whole lot. But again, I do like the difference in the bristles on this one sometimes in different areas of my hair. And then I love this one. This one's like universal for anybody's hair type. I love this one. This one I use just randomly. So I might be doing both today. I'm definitely gonna be using this one. So I'll show you guys how I do that. Now, probably gonna start in the back first. I always like to start in the back first. Make sure that's the way I want it and set up the way that I want. And you always wanna pick the hair up where you wanna start it at. Now you could always go down here with your teasing if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna worry about everything up top. So I've gone under here. I'm not going all the way up here to the crown area. I'm going down a little bit, exactly like where that halo would sit on your head. So I'm gonna start here and start teasing here and then move my way up. So I'm gonna take a little section out and then we're gonna clip the rest like we did the first time. Hopefully I can see. Okay. Now, oh, I guess I should have opened that first. Okay, I'm gonna take out, oh, hey guys. I'm so used to doing this by myself that I don't have to worry about looking what I'm doing or trying to look up. All right, I'm taking the top off, and like I said, it's got like a little nozzle here, and you just push it. See that comes out? It's literally like a mist, but it's a powder. So I'm gonna take a little piece right here. You don't want it to be super thick piece because then it's gonna be a lot harder to get that to stay up. And then I'm gonna take that, and as best as I can, because obviously it's the back of my head and I can't see, I'm gonna just spray 1 or 2 sprays here. And it's not like cool or anything, so I can't really feel it when I'm spraying it. And then I'm gonna take my little trusty Tease and go down. Now I know I'm doing it more than once or twice, but that's because I can't see it. So I wanna make sure that this back part is getting enough, because this is the one that's gonna start the volume. So when I drop that, and now the other thing you can do if you have the hairspray, which I don't, but I'm just gonna use this right now. Spray a little bit where you've teased it, let it dry, and then you can lay it down, and then we'll go to the next piece. And that's too much hair. Always make sure you're making your sections not too big, because you definitely don't want to mess it up by having too big of a section. Okay. And the other good thing about that Puff Me spray is that once it's in your hair and you start working it around, it helps lift the hair back up. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that I pull it, make sure you pull it all the way to the root. Like if you're going up here and you're pulling down, don't just go like this. Make sure you take it and pull it all the way to the root. That's really what's gonna make sure that at the root, your hair is being lifted, not just halfway through the hair. Spray a little bit after it's fallen. Okay, take another section. Again, too big. And where did my brush go? There it is. Oops. Sometimes you'll grab the hair, it's no big deal, because we're gonna smooth it out in the end. Make sure I'm positioning this right. And as you can see, I'm kind of holding the hair forward and not just up. If you hold it forward, like we did when we were blow drying it, that's what's really gonna make sure that when you let the hair back down, it's really gonna give you that lift. Now the ones that are closer to the top, I'm trying not to do too much, I was about to say ratting it, too much teasing, because obviously I want it to look smooth up there. I don't want it to look like a rat's nest. So we want to make sure we don't do too much on the top so that we can cover it if we need to. Make sure, I always do it right down the middle and then on both sides, because you obviously want to make sure it's even all the way around that one piece of hair that you're teasing. Okay, now see how we've got this. Now I'm going to start on the sides. I've gotten pretty close to the front of my head. So I'm gonna go down the side, and you can go all the way down over here by the ear if you want to, but I'm just not gonna do that. But there's no right or wrong way, you know, where to start and where not to start. You could do the whole head if you wanted to. It's no big deal. It's all preference. Make sure that I pull that. And then we're gonna spray. And then same thing. See how, not just up, we're gonna pull it over. And what I like about this one is it's not gonna damage your hair, this Tease thing. See how much, look at that craziness. All right, I almost feel like Jessie James Decker when she does her hair. She likes to tease a lot. I mean, I live in Texas, so big hair is always a good thing. Closer to Jesus. Hard for me to grab this thing out of the hair. Now you don't really want to do too much at the bang, so what I'm going to do is once I've done this, when I put it down, I'll kind of pull out pieces, you know, that are too much in the bang, because obviously you don't want it to look crazy right there. Oh, let me spray a little bit here. Okay, before I do this last piece by my part, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. This side is my worst side because I'm right-handed. And since I don't have as much hair on this side as I do this side, I think I'm gonna go down a little bit lower than what I did on the other side, just to make sure it looks even. And then there you go, guys, and we're done. I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay, now let that sit for a sec. And then the way I like my bangs, like how it is laying right now, I love it, that swing. But sometimes it's too flat right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that piece. And this time I'm gonna use this one because I don't want it to go all the way through to the other side where you're really gonna be able to see it. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. I just want a little bit of a lift. I don't need it to be crazy. I don't even think I'm gonna spray that one because I wanna make sure that I can pull it out if I need to. Okay, now that that's all done, now we're gonna kind of brush it out. This is one of the reasons why I love this one, because the bristles are short. So I don't have to worry about it going all the way through to like my scalp and then pulling everything out that I just did. If you don't have one of these, like a round brush like this that has the short bristles would be better than something like this. Let's see. Okay, I'll do this side first. And I don't know if y'all know this or not. I feel like as girls, we've learned this since we were kids. If you have tangles, you always start at the bottom and then work your way up. So it's kind of the same thing with this. We don't want to take the tangle out that's at our root. So instead, I'm gonna make sure that I'm smoothing it from the bottom and then working my way up and smoothing whatever I need to make it look nice. And when you get up here, you don't want to yank too hard. Like I said, you want to make sure that you're keeping most of this intact. If you've done it right though, the way that I'm doing it, you don't really have to worry about it totally falling out, because we did a lot of teasing and not a lot to where, like I said, you're not gonna have a rat's nest. It's not gonna look crazy, but it's gonna give you that lift that's gonna last all day long, I swear to you. And I have really thick and coarse hair, so my hair falls within 30 minutes. Like I can curl my hair and it won't look like that within an hour. So if you're like me, this works wonders. And then if you're somebody that has really fine hair, doesn't have as much hair, wants to have that volume, but hates that you have to constantly do this or constantly do that or constantly put hairspray in it, this will work, and you don't even have to put hairspray in your hair afterwards. Yes. We done. One more thing I suggest, this Kenra Shine Spray is the bomb. If you're not wanting to put oil in your hair, especially if you've just done all of this, you don't want to put oil in your hair and maybe ruin it or make it, I just hit myself in the face, maybe ruin it or make it too oily. So this stuff is perfect. Just take it, spray it all over the head, and it makes your hair look nice and shiny and smooth. Nobody will ever know that you just did all that work to make your hair look nice and smooth and make it look like you have this natural volume to your hair. All right, y'all. I love it. I hope you all love it. I hope you learned something today. If you did, let me know down below in the comments what you learned or what your favorite part was. If you have any questions about any of the products that I used, just send me a little question and I'll totally answer you. Yeah, I love it, y'all. I love big hair. I don't get to do this very often. I mean, obviously as a mom and a stay-at-home mom, I ain't going nowhere to go look like this. But if I have the time like today, I definitely want to do it just because it's fun and it makes you feel good and it's fun to play around with hair and makeup and all of those things. Now, if I'm on a date night, I will definitely do this. Or if it's a big event, you know, if we're going out for somebody's birthday or New Year's Eve or something like that, then I would definitely do this. I mean, I do this a lot with my curled hair, so I love it. And if you love big Texas hair, I know you're gonna love this too. Like I said, any questions, just let me know down below. I'm so happy you guys were here to watch this today. Like I said, I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun with me. Maybe you were doing your hair with me while I was doing it, learning as you go. But if you did like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you here in this little family of ours. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.